And what do we create and how do we create and how does it work? That is something to be studied, to be explored. Because these are our natural powers which have been given to us. Everything we create, everything is created. The creation is a sign of the Creator, which we have created this world or recreated, changed this world ever since we came into the picture, so to speak, as human beings. A long time ago, when we became separate from animals, when we gained awareness of ourselves. But yeah, what is really our nature and how do we realize our humanity? How do we learn how to use our mind? And how do we use our mind? How do we think? How do we learn? How do we become? Who do we become? And what do we do? How do we live our lives? Children don't want to be restricted. Children want to be free. So there is a struggle that takes place. And what's interesting, Erich Fromm was really greatly inspired me. He said something very interesting about that struggle that takes place against external authorities, against not wanting to be conditioned. He said that the wounds of this struggle, how we've become wounded as a result of this struggle, that lies at the root of every mental illness. I've come to really agree with that. Because children, again, want to be free. They want to learn according to their own pace. They have a natural sense of wonder. But how we educate, that's something to be looked at. And the effect that has. And how we really need to, well, not only educate, but re-educate. Or rather, remember. I just think learning is a very general term of, it's part of the process. As we go through the motions of life, through experience, we learn from experience. It's not about me teaching you, or anybody teaching you, because it's impossible to do that. But it's about learning, and that's the point. What is truth? I think truth, we don't need to argue about that, because truth just is. And we all have our own truth. We all have found that. And we all go by that. We might not be aware of that, but this truth, this awareness, this deep knowledge within ourselves inspires all of our actions, all of our emotions, all of our feelings, our thoughts, everything. We all actualize what we realize, or we all realize to actualize. The trick is to become aware of that. Creative expression, self-expression, that's the key. And if you think about that, this is our freedom. This is not about the freedom that is granted to us or given to us. This is a freedom we develop as a result of our own productive inner activities. Another concept is about becoming active as opposed to being passive, which the result of which of passivity is boredom, is anxiety, is depression. But activity results in creativity, results in active participation, active living. Of how our energy naturally flows, how like this water naturally flows beautifully. Because we are nature, we are part of it. We are not machines. Thanks again for joining. Keep it real.